I have made a lot of videos where I talk about all the Lightspeed feats in One Piece, and in every single one of those videos, somebody comments and tells me that Kizaru is the only character that can move at light speed, despite the dozens of times that characters have dodged lasers. So, once and for all, today we are going to prove that several characters can move at light speed or greater. However, in this video, we are only going to talk about the 6 characters that are specifically, canonically, explicitly stated to be moving at this speed or greater. And believe me, they do exist. So strap in as we are about to accelerate to light speed and talk about light speed. Hello Internet, Jojo here. Like I already said in the intro, today we are going to prove without a shadow of a doubt that light speed is not even close to the max speed in the world of One Piece. In this video, we are only going to talk about characters that are specifically stated to be as fast or faster than light. This means no lightning and no photons, though photons are particles that move at light speed. No, bad Jojo. Keep to the ones that are canonically light speed. So, first up is Blackbeard. People tend to forget that Blackbeard's darkness and gravity was introduced long before Kizaru's light. Blackbeard's devil fruit, the Yami Yami no Mi, or dark fruit in English, is described as having the power of darkness, and that power is that of infinite gravity that not even light escapes from. Blackbeard uses this power to pull Ace towards him at light speed, and is fast enough to intercept him. Not only is Blackbeard able to react to Ace moving at light speed several times, but even Ace himself is able to react and throw an attack while moving at this speed. In this video, I calculated that Ace would need to be moving at about 676,742,000 miles per hour and react in about 8.79 nanoseconds. And Blackbeard actually seems to be able to react faster than Ace, as multiple times he lands the exact same hit. Now, here's an interesting thing. Blackbeard's typical black hole would generate a gravity of over 41.33 quadrillion meters per second squared. That means that in 1 second, the object getting pulled would reach a velocity of over 41.33 quadrillion meters per second. In the real world, the max velocity that anything can reach is, you guessed it, light speed. In fiction, when you have a character that can move near light speeds, you cannot assume that this light speed limit exists. This means that an object could reach millions of times faster than the speed of light when being pulled at Blackbeard's infinite gravity. Not to mention that, even if you don't think this is light speed, the force a person would feel while being pulled at this speed would be the equivalent of having somewhere around 3.5 Neptunes, the planet, dropped on top of you. Black holes don't mess around. Now, before you start saying that Blackbeard saying infinite was an embellishment of his power, let me just say that that is certainly not the case. There are many other Devil Fruit users that are described as infinite or very close to it. Devil Fruit users like Blueno and Brule have abilities that connect them to a pocket dimension that is exclusive to them. Karibo is stated to have an endless void inside him where he can store things. Vanderdecken's fruit allowed him to throw an object that will follow their target forever or until it hits something. Whitebeard is stated to have the power that could destroy the world, and Aokiji's power is literally the power of cold. Cold is not even a power, it's a concept. It's like someone having the power of algebra. It doesn't make sense, it's not a thing, it's a concept. Before we move on, I had a thought. It's not related to the topic of the video, but it's very interesting. Is anyone else terrified of what Blackbeard's awakening could be? I mean, Logias tend to cause permanent effects on the environment. Akai Inu and Aokiji destroyed Punk Hazard, and it's also theorized that Devil Fruit users affected Enies Lobby and Raijin Island. So, could the previous user of the Yami Yami no Mi's infinite gravity have caused the moon's permanent orbit? Food for thought. Anyways, let's move on to the next character. The second character to have an ability that is canonically light speed is Kuma. Yeah, there are several characters confirmed to have light speed attacks or able to move at light speed before Kizaru was ever introduced. This one's pretty basic. Kuma explains that his paws can repel air at light speed, creating an air cannon of sorts. However, then Zoro does this. When I calculated this feat in a different video, I assumed that he was having to react in the same time that the air cannon was moving about a meter. I did this because there is so much going on and an insane amount of movement that is not shown in the panels. This distance and speed yielded a reaction time of around 3.3 nanoseconds, and this should have been on the high end as Zoro is constantly getting closer to Kuma, so he is definitely lowering the time that he has to react in. If Kuma had said the thing about repelling air at light speed, like, I don't know, 200 chapters ago when he was first introduced, that would be one thing, but he describes his power and then immediately fights Zoro. It's the same with Blackbeard too. He describes his power and then immediately fights in the same chapter. Oda explicitly did this, and he did this on purpose. Third is Trafalgar Law. One of the abilities that Law's Devil Fruit gives him is the ability to make a room and then control everything inside it, even allowing him to teleport. Now, to be fair, this ability called Shambles is not true teleportation. Instead, Shambles is more of an ability that swaps two objects in space. So, Law can swap himself instantaneously with any object from a snowflake to another person. It should also be noted that Law has an ability called Gamma Knife. In real life, the term Gamma Knife is used to refer to a treatment that uses gamma radiation in order to treat tumors on the brain. Radiation, by definition, moves at light speed and bypasses traditional defense in order to kill cancer cells. This as well is light speed. The fourth character is obviously Kizaru. Kizaru ate a devil fruit that gives him the ability of light and lasers. There's not much else to say about this other than the fact that pacifistas are explicitly described as having the same kind of laser by X Drake, who, considering recent developments in the manga, is a good source. These next two characters will surprise you as they appear all the way in the other half of the series. These two characters appear during the Whole Cake Island arc. Any guesses? Well, they are Niji and Ichiji of the German Double Six. Each of the four German siblings have a unique ability. Niji is able to move at the speed of light. At one point, Niji aims his Lightspeed sword toward the Big Mom pirates and cuts them down with his Henry Blazer.
Henry Blazer!
This attack is explicitly described as Lightspeed sword, and the exact translation of the name is electromotive sword, so there is no debate that he is moving at light speed. While this speed is impressive, what I want to know is his reaction time. Luckily we can find that. Taking Niji's height of 185 centimeters and applying it to light trail in this image, we find that he moved about 351 centimeters and then made a sharp turn. While moving at light speed, he would cover this distance in about 11.75 nanoseconds, making that his reaction time. From everything we've seen, the raid suits only enhance the wearer's physical attributes and does not seem to affect mental things like reaction time or haki. This means that Niji should be able to react this fast outside of his suit as well. And on that topic, Sanji kicked his face in faster than he could react, meaning that Zoro, Sanji, and Ace all have similar feats of speed. Lastly is Ichiji, and, well, he's easily faster than light. I'll just let you watch this. Ichiji's signature move is Valkyrie or Light Fist. As you can see, Ichiji fires out lasers from his fist and then outruns them so he can do a cool pose as his opponent gets hit. Now, I don't even know where to start calculating with this one. Seriously, Ichiji is moving so fast that the light coming from his eyes is trailing behind him. His eyes begin to glow, and Ichiji outran the light that came out. Even the blast of light he fires trails behind him at a substantial distance. The farthest back we see is about 4 blasts, meaning that Ichiji fired 4 lasers and then outran them. This easily puts him above light speed. Not to mention that Katakuri dodged one of his point-blank attacks. And before you say that Katakuri saw the feature so that's why he could dodge it, let me correct you. Katakuri's entire thing is that he only moves when his opponent's attack is so close at hitting him that when he moves out of the way, his opponent thinks that their attack passed straight through him. In essence, Katakuri's movements must be many times faster than his opponent. Now, I'm not going to bother calculating this one because, well, the point of this talk is about the characters who are canonically faster than light, and calculating Ichiji's speed is not really relevant. Just kidding, I'm going to calculate it. To find his speed, we must first discover what time he moved in. Now, as you can tell, this entire panel is at a very strange perspective. However, we can use these few lasers to trace about where he fired them from. Let me just say it again. This looks strange because we are viewing from a very weird perspective. Yet, even if we adjust for perspective, the numbers like reaction time and distance moved would become greater but the speed he moved would remain the same. This is because if you double the time and double the distance, the final speed is the same thing. Basically, in this instance, none of the numbers except for the final speed can be taken as a feat. So comparing the laser's path to Ichiji, we find the total distance the laser moved is a minimum of 199 centimeters. The laser that is the farthest back is about 73 centimeters from the source. Assuming that Ichiji covered the entire distance in the same time that it took the laser to move 73 centimeters, and he would need to move that entire distance in just over 2 nanoseconds and reach a speed of 1.83 billion miles per hour. Like I said before, to be more exact, if we were to account for perspective, the distance he moved would be greater, and so would the time that he moved in. However, the speed remains constant because the ratio between time and distance stays the same. So with that, we've covered all the characters that are canonically stated to be faster than light. Not to mention that every one of these characters has fought someone who matched, if not surpassed, their own speed. For Blackbeard, it was Ace. For Kuma, it was Zoro. For Kizaru, it was both Marco and Rayleigh. For Niji, it was Sanji. For Ichiji, it was Katakuri. There's really no debate about this. Characters in One Piece can move at speeds as fast or faster than light. Can we stop saying otherwise? Because at this point, you're just grasping at straws. That said, guys, thanks for watching. Remember to stay spectacular. JoJo, out.